Okay, so we all see you at Cisco Live. You're running around, you're taking pictures, you have a blue cape, you got a Zorro hat on, you're always smiling, you're giving free hugs, you're picking people up.
Oh, yes.
But we want to find out sort of who is the man behind the cape. All right, so I'm going to tell you the things that I know about you.
Gotcha.
With isn't very much, which is why I wanted to contact you for this interview. We hung out so much at Cisco Live, just running around, having fun, laughing, eating, playing, everything, having a great time.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized afterwards, I don't know David like I know my friends. I don't know where David comes from. I don't know who he is behind the cape. I don't know who he is outside of Cisco Live. And that's why I contacted you to do this. So let me tell you the couple of things I know. And I don't know if they're right. So you correct me if I'm wrong. And
Okay.
then we'll kind of go into who you are.
Okay.
Okay. You're from Venezuela.
Yes.
Okay. You live in Czech Republic.
Yeah.
All right. You're 27.
Yeah.
All right. 3 for 3. I got 2 more.
Okay.
Your birthday is December 31.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a very awkward one.
And I got your passport number here as. Okay.
I was like, oh, damn it. Really? Like, he got it.
Okay. And number 5, correct me if I'm wrong. You've taken the CCDE 3 times and we're still waiting on good results, right?
Yeah. Well,
Still waiting.
Crossing toes and fingers.
I got him crossed right here, buddy.
Awesome. Yeah. I was just waiting for results. It's the 3rd time. It's been the first time was in May last year, then November, and now May again. I'm just repeating it. Let's see what happens.
So introduce me to the man behind the cape, okay? Let's start with where are you from? You're from Venezuela.
Yes.
So you immigrated over to Czech Republic. How old were you when you made the move?
Well, I moved out from Venezuela when I was 24.
Okay.
And I did it because, well, Venezuela has been in crisis for many years. It's just that every year gets worse. Doesn't mean that before wasn't bad. It means that now it's really like, well, in the bottom. Although when we get to the bottom, we realize there's a basement, so you can always get worse, kind of. I migrated to Czech Republic because I couldn't find more opportunities there. I was doing well. This is the part of the story that actually almost nobody knows. Before I left Venezuela, before I left Venezuela, I was working on my own company. This is the interesting part, right? When I was a teenager, I was fixing somebody else's computer, helping my friends with programs. I was this kind of guy who was always installing programs, changing your power supply, putting you a new memory, slot. I mean, I was the guy doing these kind of things, but I was doing it for free because I just like it. I was all the time into computers and all that. And then suddenly I started to charge for it when I was 16. Not everybody was happy about it. Because I had to find a way to, simply to get an income. Because my dad was starting to get sick and things were getting a little bit more complicated. So I was just starting to make an income. And from all these people I was helping before, then I just started to charge them. As all of them were really happy about it, then they were like, okay, dude, just charge me, I don't mind. I mean, you're doing a great job for years, so let's keep doing it. And I kept doing it till I was 19 as an individual. And then when I was 19, I founded my own company in Venezuela. We were even a Cisco partner. It was very cool. It was a very small company, and that allowed me to not only have my own customers and have, my own clients, customers, and charge them as a company, which made it more serious, but also it allowed me to give all my friends their first job. It's really hard to find your first job because it's like, okay, we need experience, and then we need a degree, and okay, you get the degree, but you don't have experience, so come back when you have experience. And it's just a circle, because as long as you don't get experience, then you don't get the job. So I gave them their first job. I was helping them to learn new stuff. I had a whiteboard at home. That's what I was asking you about, your whiteboard. I had a whiteboard at home, but it wasn't that big. And sometimes they were spending a whole night before going to school at my place, because we were discussing about things that they were going to do. They were graduating, so I was helping them with their thesis. And they had to build a program, some kind of application to do something specific. Then we were just going through details, and I was sitting with them and trying to get them my feedback. And this was my way of helping them, because I needed the companies will always be asking for experience. So then, well, now when you can put like, I was working in the company, blah, 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 doing this, and then, okay, I had something. So it's just better than nothing. And it's just my way to help them. Of course, they were my friends. That doesn't mean I wasn't paying. Very important. They had their salary. They had the proper payment, because the fact that they are your friends doesn't mean you can just abuse of them, right? And always when we had some kind of field job, then I was like, okay, I pay the fried chicken, let's go. And then, we're sitting together and everything. And we continued to do this for years. I was a consultant. I was also, among my customers, I have 2 very small banks. But I was already getting to that. I was touching their firewalls. I was playing with their stuff. It was awesome. But the problem is that then the economy started to fail. The economy started to get, worse. It was bad, but it just got worse. So what I did was, my only choice was to close the company. And before closing it, I just found all my friends a job with one of my customers. So then it's like, well, you can get this dude, you can get this other dude. And I mean, I just got all of them with their new employer, which was anyway another company that they were already being consultant for. So they knew already to invite them, and they were just cool. And then I just closed it completely. And I had to leave. In the meantime, or let's say while I had my company during the week, on Saturdays, I was being a Cisco instructor in an academy in the University of Venezuela. So for 2 years, I was an instructor there. I started as a student. Then when I graduated, they allowed me to be an instructor. And well, I just kept doing it because I loved it. So I had like this Monday to Friday schedule. And then I had Saturdays to be for being an instructor. And then on Sundays, most probably I had something else to do. I would find something. But then, things were not going well with the economy. And although my dad was, that's another thing. My dad was really like sick, and things were getting too expensive. So you get to a point where even if you have the money, everything is in crisis still. You might even not find it. And even sometimes if you find it, you will not be able to pay because the amount is, it's just ridiculous. So what I did was trying to find a job outside Venezuela. Between the moment I took the decision and when it happened, maybe more than a year, because I was for months applying for positions, and I was counting them because I wanted to know exactly how many, but I got rejected for more than 200 positions before I got accepted in IBM Czech Republic, because they simply didn't want to do visa job, right? You're Venezuelan, you're not going to do visa. And then, after several months, I posted something in Cisco Learning Network. This is the thing. I mean, it wasn't Cisco Learning Network. I put them like, hey guys, like, what do you know about working abroad? And then suddenly one guy whom I never knew about before appears. And then he tells me like, you can apply in IBM Czech Republic, and I got extremely surprised. Like, can I? Yeah. They will give you the chance. They are not that picky with the visa and stuff. They will help you. Then suddenly we kept talking over days, private messages, and then he tells me just apply on this place in Czech Republic, in Brno is the name, and they are really hiring a lot because it's a global delivery center. So they will have all the time open positions. So I just applied and I said like, okay, 200, what will kill me to have another rejection? And I just sent the CV. And like 2 weeks after, I get an email like, this CV shortlisted for interview. What? Can't believe it. And then, I was having an interview 2 weeks after, and everything went well. I said, maybe they will send me an offer, maybe not, who knows? And when I got the offer, for me, it was unbelievable. It's like, I'm leaving, or at least I have the offer and I can leave, right? After so many months trying to do it, and now it happened. But then the thing, the decision continues, right? The decision moment just moves to something a little bit more complex. It's like, how are you going to leave? So what I did was just sell everything I had. What I couldn't sell, I just gave it to my brothers. Some things I just didn't even want to sell. And I just gave away many things and sold some others. And I put all my savings in a ticket for Spain. I have a brother living in Spain, but he couldn't help me any other way. I mean, I just told him, can I live on your couch for 2 months? And he said, yeah, sure. If you're only living on my couch, then that's good. So I went to Spain, to Madrid. I applied for the work visa for Czech Republic in Madrid in the embassy, and then I waited there for 2 months till the visa was approved. So I was living in the couch for 2 months, and then when I had the money I could gather and some money I got lent from it's lent, yeah, I got lent from a cousin. So well, I got my visa approved, and I say, okay, let's go. I took a plane to Czech Republic, and suddenly everything just changed completely. Right, this time, I mean, since I moved to Spain, it becomes really hard to just put all your life into suitcase, right? In 23-kilo suitcases. There's nothing else, just clothes. Some things I brought them with me that were my, well, most of these, let's say, memories, things that I got from my dad years ago, and some pieces of clothes I still use them. They are really good, but these were just memories. And well, I put all my things into suitcases and came to Spain, and since that moment, I didn't have a ticket back. I didn't have a way back. Also, from all the money I got lent by my cousin, if I went back, I didn't have a way to pay for it. Right? I mean, it will take me my whole life and many other lives to pay for it. So it was just okay, dude, just go. So my only chance was make it work, or well, make it work. There was no step back. Right? I moved to Brno. I found some flat to live. I had 5 days to find a flat. And I was staying in some kind of hostel for 5 days. And in my 5th day, I found the flat. I literally just left the hostel, and I was just dragging my suitcase and going to the flat. I had to walk like 5 kilometers because I didn't know at that point how to pay for they use tram here, tranvia. So I didn't know how to pay for this ticket. And also I didn't understand the language. It was in Czech. So even the instructions were in Czech. So I was like, how the hell am I supposed to pay this? And I had to walk 5 kilometers dragging the suitcase to get to the new flat. And even though it was really not hard, no, I mean, it wasn't really cool, right? It was honestly hard. It was harsh. It was complicated. It was an adventure because you usually just don't decide to go to a country you don't know about, another culture, another language, something completely unknown to you. But you just do it because, well, that was my only choice, right? You either do it or you do it. I started to work for IBM. Things were not that cool at the beginning. My manager said, when I came to my first day of work, he said, well, whatever you find wrong, feel free to point it out. That was bad because I found things wrong, and I told him. Well, it turns out that he got offended and he wanted to fire me. So imagine being in this situation where but most probably were going to be fired, but you just came from another country. You were in probation period, so actually he didn't even have to give me a reason. He could just keep me out because I was in probation period. How the hell I was going to come back? I didn't even have money to come back. When I got my first salary, I only had 60 crowns in my pocket. 60 Czech crowns is around 2 and something euros. This is what I had left when I got my first salary. And my way of celebrating was eating a sandwich because there was a canteen in the building. They had these like big fat juicy sandwiches with cheese. And I was just really like, and suddenly like I got my salary. Now I can get a sandwich. I mean, it was hilarious because there are these kind of victories, right? Because for us, maybe right now when I'm looking back, it's funny, right? But I say like, okay, yeah, it was a sandwich, but at that point, it's your best. Really, it's the best thing you have. It's these little victories that maybe they don't mean too much in the long run, but at that point they are the best thing ever, right? I had to measure all my expenses in an Excel spreadsheet for months because I had a target date to pay back the money I got lent. So with an Excel spreadsheet, I had to document all my expenses till I got to the amount of money I needed. And that was like 2 weeks right before paying it. So I just got in time. I paid the money and I was finally free at least of my debt after 9 months. But it means that I was starting over, right? I didn't have my debt, but also I didn't have anything left. I just got to this money. So once again, starting from zero, but at least without this pressure, I passed my probation period and everything, well, became better, or generally just went better. I got moved to another team because another manager had some kind of need, and he said, I need a guy to support me. And I was like, okay, I'm your dude. And as my previous manager wanted to get rid of me, he was like, take it, like just take the dude. For me, it was perfect. The other manager was awesome. And really, I got a fantastic support for 2 years. I was working with data centers. I was supporting traditional Nexus, and then I was supporting also ACI. And well, there was a point where things started to change again in IBM. And well, I had to leave. My manager wasn't my manager anymore. They removed him. They put him somewhere else. And I didn't feel like really I was welcome anymore. I did all the job. I did all the work I could. I put all my effort on it. I got good recognitions. When I left, I had to talk with my boss, his boss, the boss of his boss. And I mean, I had to go several level of bosses to leave because they didn't want me to leave. But at the same time, once your mind is made, you just gonna go back, right? I got the opportunity to then work at Verizon, where I work right now. And well, since September last year, I'm doing SD-WAN with Verizon, orchestration, and well, some other things. In the meantime of all this, because it wasn't, I got here in June 2016. Well, May, but I started to work in June.
You got where? To Czech Republic or the employer?
No, to Spain I got in March.
Okay.
March 15th. To Czech Republic I got May 11th.
Mm-hmm.
And my employer, which was IBM at that point, was June 1st.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then it was in 2016. I got my CCMP like a week before joining IBM. I was for years already trying to contribute somehow to Cisco Learning Network, because after all, I found the way to get a job in Cisco Learning Network. And before that, I was always writing in some post that somebody else was putting stuff. I was asking questions or trying to answer them. Most of the time I was wrong, but I was having a great time there. I had a lot of people correcting me, so there was plenty of room to grow. I mean, for me, the Cisco Learning Network was the best way. The best way to learn, the best way to grow, and the best place to be. Because anyway, when you leave, you're completely alone. I was in a, I don't know, maybe 35 square meters apartment. It was quite small, and I was totally alone. So what the hell I was gonna do, right? I was trying really to keep learning, to keep improving, because this would get me to a better place. And I got my CCMP, and I had a lot of support from the community manager, and they said, Matt Saunders, he said, well, dude, just keep doing it. You can be a VIP if you keep doing it. It's like, awesome. And I kept helping, and suddenly in 2017, I get this, congratulations, you have been selected as a VIP. It's like, for me, this was magic. I mean, it's incredible. It was unbelievable.
So let's take a pause right there. Selected for a VIP, a Cisco VIP.
Yeah, Cisco. That's
okay. VIP. So what does being a Cisco VIP mean?
The Cisco VIPs are supposed to be icons, people, leaders on the Cisco, in this case, Cisco Learning Network. Cisco Support Community also has their VIPs. You're supposed to be one of the leaders. You're supposed to be somebody who is collaborating, contributing, helping other people. This is something that comes from you. It's not like, how to say it? It's not like it's a requirement. I would say that if you are on it, it will just come, because this is what we do. Right now, what I do is create more content. I try to create documents in English and Spanish. I try to translate some others that are already there. But everyone is having a different way to contribute. Everyone is having a different way to help and to motivate other people. You see other people that maybe they just put on Learning Network, just pass the CNA. And we are the first people just there. Hey, dude, congratulations. That's awesome. Because it's a small victory, but you need this, this pat in the back, like, well done, keep going. It just feels awesome. So we just contribute and collaborate and help other people. We empower them, we enable them. And if they ask for advices, then we are there for them. This is the way we help, right? Because anyway, we help to build the community. This is exactly what the whole community is about. And I got this fancy thing. Hold on. I need to show it. Yes, this is the first one I've got.
Oh, very cool.
It's just awesome. It was from 2017. In the same year, I got this, congratulations, you have been selected as a Cisco champion. So I got both. And I couldn't fit on myself. For me, this was like, dude, this is impossible. I mean, I must be like dreaming. Sometimes I said, well, I will try to pinch myself again to see if this is real. Because it doesn't feel like it was real. It was, for me, it was a dream, right? Because months ago, I was in Venezuela struggling to get things done. I was in Venezuela, fighting with the economy. I was in Venezuela doing things with my nails, as we say in Spanish. And suddenly I got to Czech Republic and things just changed. What I mean, no, not to Czech Republic, but I mean that I migrated, right? And things just changed. I got a bunch of opportunity and all of this happens it happened so quick. For me, this was a dream, and it took me a while to really assimilate it. And after that, I have just continued to do exactly the same, to help other people, to contribute in the best way I can. I was writing, I remember that in 2016, I got this community spotlight hour from Cisco Learning Network. And they were doing me an interview, and they asked, like, what do you want to do? I remember, or something like this. And I said, at that point in 2016, I would like to be like Daniel Dave, like Peter Palúch, like these amazing guys that you see all over, and they are just icons. They are just unique. They are legends, like Wendell Odom. And suddenly, right now, Daniel Dave and Peter Palúch are one of my closest friends ever. And if I look back into it, I wouldn't even guess this. I would be not believing it. For me, this was unthinkable. And then suddenly it became a reality, right? It's just, for me, everything has been a dream since then, really. It's just crazy.
This was amazing. I think it helps to exactly explain when we see you running around with the cape flapping behind you, like sort of where that comes from, right? It doesn't just come from Cisco Live. It comes from who you are, and it comes from what you've been through and what drives you. And being able to always see the brighter side of something. And I cannot even imagine leaving my home, where I am. I can't even imagine going across the country to work somewhere else in my same country with the same language, let alone to move to another country and learn a new language and new writing and new everything. I think it shows incredible amount of strength and perseverance and I'm sure creativity, right? Because
yeah, sometimes I had to do drawings because I had to explain myself, like, chicken or eggs. Yeah, because in Czech, they have a letter. It's having a sound which I believe doesn't exist in any other language. I might be wrong. There might be another language with this. It's it's really hard to pronounce it. It's some kind of R with some kind of vibrato. It's complex, but this letter is almost everywhere in Czech. And for me, it was frustrating that I couldn't say chicken. Chicken is kuse. And it's the letter that I couldn't pronounce for years. And then suddenly when I kind of look at when I could do it, I was like, oh my God, I can say chicken. I mean, it's just awesome. It's just a different kind of thing. I guess all of this is my bad. I guess all of this is an adventure, right? Because whenever you see that all over the world, or not say all over the world, in my case, from where I come, things were really not good. Things were negative. Things were not going well, including my dad. I was taking care of my dad from here. I was sending money home. My brothers were checking on him all the time because my dad was sick for many years and he was going in the clinic and out. So it was all the time, in this back and forth till he passed away in 2017. But he was for year 6 since I was 16. So we had 8+ years taking care of my dad. We even had to take him to dialysis as well. His kidneys were not working. It was really complicated. But when you see that things are so negative, then it doesn't make sense to really complain. It doesn't make sense to just think, oh, poor me. It's just like, dude, just trying to find the best, trying to find the best of everything, because all of these things are small victories, like buying a sandwich, for example.
So I think that's really amazing. And I'm so happy you're able to share that story. I feel like I can put the picture together of who is David. So when I see him, running around Cisco Live and taking pictures and smiling and hugging people, I sort of know a little bit of the foundation of why he's here today and why he's doing what he's doing. And I think that's really awesome. Thank you
Yeah, I
for,
think
sharing the experience. I think a lot of people, everyone has their own struggles. And
yeah.
I think it's important for us to share our origin stories, where we come from, what makes us who we are, because it helps other people, even though the struggles may not be the same, but it helps other people understand that what they're going through at the time is going to help frame them for who they will be. And it's hard to see that when you're in the middle of something negative. You're hard to see that outside of that negativity is something positive on the other side. And I think that's exactly how you've described it. And it's beautiful.
It's just, I mean, when I see people that it's struggling with something, what I try to do is like, okay, just let it out. Tell me. I mean, sometimes people only need somebody to listen, and they don't even have it, or they don't even have that person. It would be not the right thing. But then they just, let you know what is the problem. And then you sit with them. Why don't you do this or this? Or how can I help you? Like, do you want to let it out? Do you want to go for a coffee? Do you want me to help you with something? And you really try to be there, because sometimes what we are only missing is a little bit of company and somebody to understand. We are sometimes so into work and so into our own struggles that we don't realize that maybe somebody next to you didn't have breakfast today, that somebody next to you is having a very terrible situation. When my dad passed away, they let me know 30 minutes before the team building. I had a team building in IBM with my whole, with the whole team and my manager and everybody. And the real people that were close to me in the team were 4 of them. And we were 20 something. But the other guys, I mean, I have worked with, but no, we didn't have like this close relationship. These 4 people knew I had something. But I did my best just to honestly, to not screw their night, because they had one team building each quarter. Would you really enjoy, or would you really be okay with somebody just in the middle of them building, my dad died? I mean, you just don't want to screw it up for them. So I was with them the whole team building. I mean, I swallowed it completely because this was their moment, and I will have my mom in another time, doesn't matter. And none of them even realized, only the people who really knew me. And I had another friend whose name is Ivan Slatko, who lost his dad very close to mine as well. I mean, they were in really close dates. So he was literally the only person who could understand me completely. And then he told me, like, do you want to live? Like, no, let's be there just, with the people and everything. And I did my best to share. And some people, I mean, this is an explanation, or this is the way to see it, that some other people might not even notice, because, you just swallow it. And to be honest, I do my best to swallow all my stuff, because I prefer all the time to give, all the time to, as we say in Spanish, to add and not subtract, right? Mm-hmm. You just want to contribute in a way. I mean, I don't want to let you know all my struggles, because you might have yours. So what I'm going to do, just put mine on top of yours and then, make it more complex? No, it's just, I mean, I will find my way to solve it, but you to let me know, I mean, how is it going with you? How can I help you? It's just, it's just the way you should do it. Well, the way I feel you should. I mean, feel free to, do it in your own way, I guess, but it's just me, and it's just the way I feel it should be, right? We all have struggles, but it's better to help instead of just, put everything on the same pit and then,
And no, absolutely. And it's something that we need to be reminded. And hopefully somebody watching this one day in the future, maybe this is their time to remind themselves that maybe somebody next to them needs help and isn't going to say anything.
Exactly.
Well, David, this has been an awesome way to share for us. I've had an absolute pleasure with you talking this morning. I don't know what else to say. I had a list of questions here, and it was talking about how did you get into IT? Where did you come from? How did you end up in the Czech Republic? And dude, that's all part of your story. That's the whole history. You went over all of it. It's really, really amazing. And that's why I wanted to do this, because when you see people at Cisco Live, you only get to see you only get to see what they share with you at Cisco Live. And for you, it's happiness, it's joy, it's hugs. It's all of this that you share at Cisco Live. And what we don't know is everything that I've learned here today. And so now when I see you at the next Cisco Live, I'm going to give you an even bigger hug for this.
Come on, the hugs are the best part.
Yeah.
It's like when I was meeting people, do you want a hug? And then people was like, hell yeah. I want this sign of free hugs. I need to make one for next Cisco Live. So then I will be like, do you want a hug? And somebody will come like, give me one. It's just awesome, really. So I thank you for the time here. When you just contacted me for this, I was surprised. And I said like, okay, well, I hope it will be awesome. I mean, let's just talk, because I don't share this too much. And because well, as I said, it's just better just to share, the good stuff and try to motivate others and just share some other things from that happened before. But also it's a good way to get to know the people and what motivate them to be there. Because some people say that some people in Cisco Live was saying like, this guy is on drugs. He's always smiling. He's always energetic. I mean, it's weird. Like, and the funny thing is I wasn't taking coffee yet because it was just Saturday or Sunday. I mean, I wasn't even taking the coffee. I started taking coffee, I guess, was on Wednesday because I had it on the breakfast and it was like too easy to miss it. But, well, it's just that people don't imagine, and usually don't imagine what the others are going through, or they just went through. And it's all the time just good to know, and just giving them a hand or something.
Yeah. Well,
if you want a hug, just come.